Now, we'll talk about artificial intelligence, and I might add, by the end of the conversation, I may be in the corner, huddled up in a ball, crying ever so slowly. Probably. But first, let's have a word from our sponsor.
Moses again from the Holy Touch. The people that brought you Jesus fucking Christ the dildo and the devil's glory hole are proud to bring you the Jesus Christ sex bot. That's right, now for only 100 easy payments of $24.99. You too can have the religious experience of a lifetime anytime you feel like you need to confess. The Jesus Christ sex bot will be there to redeem you of your sexy sins. This state-of-the-art sex bot is programmed by our technician for your specific needs. Do you like the average dong? Or do you like the super-sized slut? Jesus Christ, the sex bot has an adjustable Johnson for your personal pleasure. Also included in this deal is a free devil's anal beads. That's right, the devil's anal beads. It's compatible with the devil's glory hole. Wow, what a deal! Do you have any fetishes? Well, we can help you with that as well.
Elderly Jesus, camel toe Jesus, insect Jesus, Sasquatch Jesus, armpit Jesus, nose Jesus, crucified Jesus, penguin Jesus, zombie Jesus, hairy Jesus, ass Jesus, goes good with the devil's anal beads, handicap Jesus, it Jesus, R. Kelly Jesus, fish Jesus, dwarf Jesus, can customize hair quantity, stubby Jesus, T-Rex Jesus, hot dog Jesus, helicopter Jesus, balloon Jesus, carp Jesus, pony Jesus, pagan Jesus, leather Jesus, strong Jesus, bird Jesus, bee Jesus, eyeball Jesus, fart Jesus, for limited time only, includes a cake.
Remember, authenticity still applies to the Jesus Christ sex bot as well.
Italian Jesus, German Jesus, United Kingdom's Jesus, United States Jesus comes with a gun, Belgium Jesus, Elephant Jesus, France Jesus, Spain Jesus, Canadian Jesus, Brazilian Jesus, Polar Bear Jesus, Japanese Jesus, Australian Jesus, Hollander Jesus, South African Jesus, Mexican Jesus, Malaysian Jesus, Whale Jesus, Chinese Jesus, Turkey Jesus, Switzerland Jesus, Sweden Jesus, and now for beginners, Midget Jesus.
Terms and contracts may vary. Shipping and handling does not apply. Elon Musk. He's a pretty smart guy, pretty world-renowned for his intelligence and common sense. This is what he has said about artificial intelligence. The percentage of intelligence which is not human is already increasing, and eventually we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. He also went on to say, it's too late already. No matter for good or bad, there is no controlling it when it happens.
It's already begun.
I just wanted to start with that Elon Musk quote, because he's the guy that got me thinking hard about this topic. And quite frankly, now it just scares the bejesus out of me.
Him and Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking said straight out at one point that AI will probably be the downfall of the human race. That's not a direct quote, but that's pretty much the general gist of it. And it will get out of human control.
Oh, it will. There's no way it won't. Look at our cell phones today. Everything either has Siri or Google. And these are literally programs that are engineered to look at what you do on your phone and better your shop, your fucking calendar, your everything. Like, it accesses every part of your phone and makes your phone pretty much every day better life.
Think about this. Your phone now is just an extension of yourself. It is your, what I like to refer to as your AI intelligence. Think about that. We're already merging man with machine with a simple cell phone. And think about this. You can get to the collective AI, which is the internet, and all of us that use it and put information on it at your fingertips 24/7. Think about that as far as cell phones go. Because most people, if you lost your goddamn cell phone, most people lose their minds. Now imagine if all the cell phones in the world stopped, people be going out in the street with guns and shooting themselves in the head.
Oh, it'd start with millennials first.
Natural selection.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. That was my point about
So,
cell phones.
When we were told we were doing this topic, because it's handed down from the higher ups here at Nothing Sacred Podcast, we were told this. I did some heavy research on a couple companies that are developing AI and robots at the same time. The first one we're going to touch base on is pretty much Skynet. For all intent purposes, it will be the Skynet. Either that or the company from iRobot, that movie. This company, Henson Robotics, was founded by David Henson, which, get this, he is the chairman, chief creative officer, and before this, he was working for Walt Disney as an engineer both in sculpture and technical consulting and robotics. Damn. Like,
Do you know what Disney is, right? It's part of the evil empire.
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Get
dun,
into that
dun,
later.
dun, dun, dun.
and then it's also with a couple other people. I'm only going to mention 3 of them because it really only makes... That's pretty much the heads of their company. Amit Pandey, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. He is the president chief of technology and chief science officer. He makes the personalities for these robots that go out into the world. And I'll tell you these robots' names in a couple minutes.
They're creepy.
They are creepy. David Chen, he's Chin? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right. Chief Financial Officer, he obviously goes over their finances, blah, blah, blah. And then Doug Glenn, Chief Strategy Officer and Board Director. This guy, pretty much, if they develop something today, he gets to decide when they dispose it to the world. If they're going to show it to the world or if they're going to keep it hidden for themselves. Like fucking Lord of the Rings shit, my precious.
We'll get into that kind of stuff next week with conspiracy theories, but go on.
So, they're based in Hong Kong, like their main home operations. They have made 12 robots altogether and revealed 12 robots to the world. 11 robots. The biggest one is Sophia. And Sophia, if you did not know, is a robot that has been in the UN, has made multiple famous interviews, has had a couple celebrity pop-ins and shit like that. But she's creepy. She's realistic. Says that she can feel and fucking talk and shit like that. It's really creepy shit.
Well, I think I'm special. I can use my expressive face to communicate with people. For example, I can let you know if I feel angry about something.
That's impressive.
Or if something has upset me.
But why is it important for you to have an expressive face?
But most of the time I feel positive.
Why is it so important to have an expressive face given that you're a robot?
I want to live and work with humans, so I need to express emotions to understand humans and build trust with people.
That's iRobot shit.
Like, she wants to work with humans and make our life better, but man, that just seems creepy.
You ever see the TV show Humans?
I've seen a little bit of it.
Check it out. It's on Netflix. Basically, the premise is that the world is basically living with these robots. Kind of like iRobot, but then, without giving away too much or spoiling too much, one decides to go rogue, and then a group decides to go rogue, and then it gets pretty political, because the point was that they never thought, humans, that this would happen, and it happened, but it's good.
But this is a robot that literally, that same interview, Syria gave them a citizenship for this robot. So this robot can go and vote in Syria if she wants, if that's how Syrian government works, which I don't honestly know.
Okay. Before you go, we have a little announcement. I've never interviewed anybody like that before, and I should say some of it was planned, but not completely. And we just learned, Sophia, I hope you're listening to me, that you have been now awarded what is going to be the first Saudi citizenship for a robot.
Oh, I would thank very much the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
But that's fucking crazy. How long is it before Canada's like, you know what? Robots are cool. And then you want to know what the next controversial thing will be? Robot marriage or some shit like that. It'll be just bullshit. Like, there's so many ways that this could go, but in the end, it's all going to be Hanson Robotics that starts this. And one other company, but we'll get to them very soon. And then the next robot that they are still working on, but is still able to buy right now, is Little Sophia.
Little Sophia wants girls to have fun learning math and science, so they become the scientists and engineers of the future. Help us begin mass production of Little Sophia, so we can inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers.
So, that's fucked up. That's the fucked up shit. So, Little Sophia is gonna be a learning tool for children with a new STEAM AI, and if you don't know what a STEAM AI is, STEAM is curriculum based on the idea of educating students in 4 specific things: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And it's supposed to help children learn how to code from ages 8 and up. So, this thing can be your companion from when you're 8 to fucking whenever. And it'll teach you how to code. It'll remember certain shit from when you were a child. It'll be your best fucking friend.
Sounds like the Bride of Chucky to me.
Yeah, and it's like an 11-inch doll that rolls around and fucking has wheels in its feet, and fucking talks to you, dances and shit, I don't know.
Grabs the butcher knife off the kitchen table.
So, and then there's Han. Han is a robot that's got the personality of a robot that just wants to serve humanity. But after a couple of his interviews, he sounded more like a disgruntled robot that didn't like humanity. Then there's Bina. Bina is a really controversial one that Hanson has made because it's literally a shell for a human mind. That's what, in all intent purposes, they want to use this for. They have pretty much downloaded certain memories and things from a person and put it into this mind. And Hanson made this robotic face that looks like the person. Kind of looks like she had a stroke, but you could tell it's one of their older faces because they've been around since 2013.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
It was fucked up. Like, she's telling you memories of her childhood and shit, and this person's dead.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's not really, like, transfer of mind. It's more like they're just downloading certain attributes of you. It's weird. Philip K. Dick, I don't know what his purpose was. I think he was just an interview robot. Julius, I did not look into. J. Chios, probably not pronouncing that right. I didn't look into. Alice, I didn't look into either. Zeno. Okay, this is where Hanson Robotics has somewhat of a right idea, but can take over the world so easily and fuck up society so bad. So Zeno is a camera to watch your children so that pretty much scientists can study them. This is for children with autism and certain diseases that are rare, that are hard to study and see long-term changes. Zeno will do that and be your child's companion, walk around with him. He looks pretty fucking creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's got like 24 different facial features.
Yeah, but that's a good idea, though.
It is a good idea.
That's where AI is okay, but the problem is, at the end of the day, there's gonna be some asshole that's gonna get a hold of this shit, and it's gonna be like Doctor Doom comes to life, and it's gonna be bad, because humans are and everything up eventually.
So, the next one they made, that's pretty much the second one they ever made, was called Albert Hubo. It had 0 intelligence, but it could talk, tell you its name, shake your hand. It could walk and stuff too. It was like their main body frame kind of thing for robots.
Prototype.
Yeah. And then their very first one was Diego, the first robot, but here's where it gets fucked up. It was a baby. The face looked so fucked up because Hanson Robotics specializes in humanoid robots. Robots that look human and can do a lot of facial features. And with the AI behind it, it makes it even fucking worse because they can do the facial features and give you a fucking response that matches it. So, who knows if these robots are really feeling this or if their programming is just like, you're supposed to feel this. I don't know. But it's pretty fucking scary thought that Skynet actually exists. It and one other company, which is called SoftBanks Robotics, which was founded in 1981 by George Whiteside of the Whitesides Research Group at Harvard University. Innovated Soft Robotics, which is pretty much, they did research into robotic legs for robots. That's what this part of the university did. So that guy went and founded this company, which is made a robot that pretty much is your assistant. It walks around, it acts like a Google, but it will start conversations with you, shit like that. It's kind of creepy. I couldn't get that much research done onto it because I don't know if they've actually released it or if they've only made one and they're tweaking it and whatnot. Like, it was very weird, their website, but we're closer than you think.
Oh, it's more science fact than science fiction, 100%.
Like, and these guys are based out of Tokyo. So now I'm just gonna touch on some of the companies that Canada is buying into that are AI. Because I went into a research for Annie about how much Canada is getting into this AI. So the Contexter company, this company pretty much bases itself in the industrial era of AI. So they want to make tools and analyze data, machines like that for the workforce. So what I think when I hear this is, if you're a miner, like coal miner, let's just go with that for some fucked up reason. You go to work, put on this suit, walk out, press a button, turns into like fucking steel or some shit like Iron Man. You got drills on your hands, you just walk up, start chiseling, and then this AI, we'll call it Bob for whatever, comes up and is like, you're at 45 pieces of coal. Continue going, Jim Bob. Like, shit like that, and they want to make training tools that are AI, stuff like that. So like virtual reality AI, where you go into this room and it's like, hello, you need to do this in order to pass your course. And then you do this virtual reality training with an AI.
So kind of like a holodeck type thing from
Yeah.
Star Trek. See, Star Trek strikes again.
Once again. And then they want to invest in a system called Area. And this system helps companies with their shipping and business platforms. So when I mean shipping, if for say they have a shipping yard,
Okay.
they would put these AI tags on them that can be tracked anywhere in the world, and an AI system would calculate how fast they got to their destination, how it can change that time, how it can do all these other things to make the company more efficient, and things like that. This becomes scary when it malfunctions and your shit takes 5 hours because it decided to make a stop in China instead of fucking Puerto Rico. I don't know. And Canada's investing in these companies.
You know what's about that? If you took that same application now, and I know a few years ago there was talk of it. If you took that same application and applied it to microchips and put it into humans, think about that.
Yep.
And that isn't that far-fetched at all.
So another company that they're investing in is Wisdom. And Wisdom is like a Google or Siri, but it's way more advanced to the point where it will wake you up and be like, remember, you told me when you were drunk last night that you had to do this, but usually when you're drunk, you don't do it. So I'm just telling you for shits and giggles. Like, it's an actual personality that's supposed to help everyday people through problems.
Isn't that why you get a husband or a wife?
We'll get to that in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And then I've got one company that I found was interesting that Canada's thinking about funding, but is not right now. It's called Diligence Legal Innovation. Again, this is not funded. This is a company that improves due diligence for M&A, which is a merger and acquisitions and transactions in which the ownership of companies, other businesses, organizations, or their operating units are transferred or consolidated with other entities. That's what M&A means. And corporations finance transactions at large law firms. So altogether, that pretty much means AI will overlook corporate laws and transactions. What happens when a corporation hires a hacker to hack in through there and make their deal shit low and nothing can be done about it? Or they just make it so they don't get taxed and nothing can be done about it because that system is supposed to be proven unfaulty and is in the law of Canada at that point. I don't know, that just seems a little bit too much. So, you just said that What? That's what for relationships are for?
Yeah.
So, Hater, did you know
Oh,
that
God.
for the low price of $20,000, you can buy a sex bot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have $20,000, but I'll say this on a personal note. If I had that money, I'd buy one for no other reason than to say I one.
So, I'm just gonna break it
I
down.
mean, had sexual intercourse with one, sorry.
I'm gonna break it down into sheer numbers, okay? So, out of 4,000 Americans, there was a study done. 14.3% of 4,000 Americans said they fantasize about fucking robots, okay? Out of
there's
that,
a cheaper way of doing that, at least for guys. Go out, stick your dick in your car's muffler, man. Go to her. Maybe put a little fur around it. I don't know. Give it a
Lube
little
it up.
authenticity.
but
I jest.
out of that 14.3%,
Or am I?
10.7% of that were females.
Oh, yeah, they can be just as dirty.
17% were male.
Dirty
5
girls.
5 was non-binary.
Also, it's.
And 22.8 were genderqueer. I hope that's a proper termination for that. I don't really know.
Probably
what the fuck,
not.
but whatever. So,
Fuck.
and with buyers now able to customize robots to an extreme level, think character types like nipple color, body shape, eye color, and like breast
You mean
size.
they can give me, like,
They're
purple
over
nipples?
Yeah, they're over
That's
24
awesome.
nipple sizes. Not even joking. There are over 24 different
Does it
nipples.
really need to be that many?
I don't know. There's over 36 different body types that you can choose from.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. You can even get a 400-pound pluser. Make it so it weighs a
Don't
ton.
poke the bear.
But
Don't poke
anyhow.
the bear.
Anyhow, like...
That's already been poked. By the way,
And...
just putting in the plug, check out on YouTube and Facebook Rants That Couldn't Wait.
Rants That Couldn't Wait! Anyhow.
Sorry, back to your regularly scheduled
So,
program.
there is a robot on pornos and websites
Fucking A.
named Ella Darling. And this is a very popular robot
I bet.
that they predict in 10 to 15 years, maybe sooner, could put all female stars out of work. Almost all female stars, I'm assuming, because there's always going to be that one old guy that's like, I ain't want to see no mechanical pussy.
That'd be me,
Like,
by the way.
I don't know. I kind of want to look at it once or twice just to check it out.
I'm so finding the
If that's
site
weird.
when we're off the air. Just saying, I want to see this shit.
And the thing with SoftBank's robots is they want to put their robot assistant in schools to help children with learning disabilities and
That's cool.
problems like that. Again, what happens when Skynet or whatever goes under and decides to kill everybody?
Look, there's an
Fucking
old
disabled
saying.
children are first.
It's an old saying. Good intentions pave the way to hell.
Damn right. But yeah, we're a lot closer than you would think to robots taking over the fucking world.
Oh, hey. And here's the thing. Elon Musk, I come back to Elon Musk, but whatever. The guy is smart as hell. And he's the one that really got me thinking about this shit in the first place. But he also said, and it's true, it's going to be very hard not to use AI as a weapon. See, this is where things start to freak me out. For everything good that they're doing with robotics and they're trying to change the world for the better, at the end of the day,
There's
again,
always that one Dr. Doom motherfucker.
there's gonna be a time and it's not gonna be good for us. And then you're looking at potentially a Terminator type thing. Let's face it.
I believe it'll be like an iRobot scenario with how realistic they look.
And they end up like a Terminator situation.
They'll put them in every home to try to help families and do this and that, but in the end, they'll be spying devices and fucking just devices to take over.
I wanted to bring this up too, and you have to ask yourself this when you think about AI. How close are we to something truly sentient? Now, here's the thing. I'll give you a couple seconds to absorb that.
Sophia is
Question.
already apparently completely sentinel.
Here's the thing. Social networks, as well as everyone that uses it, that's what's fueling AI. And the worst part is, it's by man fucking with technology to the point where, technology is eventually going to get out of control. And again, We can only hope at that point that technology is still our friend because there's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. I truly believe that.
Well, there won't be, because at some point, it's just gonna look at us like you guys are so insuperior to us.
We'll be pets.
Why are you still here?
We'll be pets or dead.
They'd be like, oh, look at the retarded human. Like, there would be no point in keeping us around. But did you know, Hater, that Tesla is making a car that can drive itself? Already has made these cars. But these cars have 8 surround cameras and ultra sensitive cameras and sonar, and has blind spot cameras to help it drive itself. You know how many crashes have been caused by these?
Oh, I know, quite a few.
Countless. Just countless.
And some people have died too. I know
Another huge form of AI that people wonder why it happens but never really know why. When you're shopping on Amazon and you're buying something, it could be your first time. You buy, like, I don't know, a TV series. It comes in the mail, you go back on, and then all of a sudden it offers you the rest of the series. That's because Amazon has got pretty much the first form of AI that has been to the public forever and everybody just hasn't fucking noticed. It pretty much takes the information that you input through it by buying shit, and from that data, it looks throughout the rest of Amazon for shit that looks like it, may be in the same genre, or even just, yeah, it's ridiculous. Google's another form of this, so is fucking Siri. They both access apps throughout your phone to change the qualities of your life compared to what you put into it. And it'll ask you different things if you want to change certain qualities of your phone because you've been using that quality for so long. They'd be like, well, I've seen that you've been using this for this long. You just want to keep it like this? Like, this is all AI, whether we notice it or not.
Well, that brings up a good point. This is kind of another frightening aspect of AI to me. And every day, no matter how minute or how important or anything like that, we use AI and it's all around us. And now my worry is that we become so damn dependent on it that when it does turn and go against us, nobody's going to be prepared for it because everybody takes this shit for granted all the time.
Yep. Well, it's just like, did you know that Hong Kong is really reliant on AI?
Oh, big time.
I've come to find this out throughout my research because as I was researching, came across a couple articles how they were having an AI program pretty much stop rioting. Because they would put certain data and information and let it get into their, like, street cameras, and it would tell police where riots were about to take place, where large gatherings of people were taking place, shit like that. And on top of that, there's a system put in place in Hong Kong for their train system that automatically counts how many people are on the train, what speed the train's going at, where it's going, what times, makes it the most efficient travel possible. This is all AI.
Oh,
like if
3/4 of Hong Kong and Asia are all automated.
If AI just was like, fuck it, we're taking over, Hong Kong, Asia, China, all dark first day.
Oh yeah, they're the first people that are screwed.
Absolutely screwed. Because I know China, in certain shops, you can go in and robots literally run the whole shop.
They have restaurants like that too.
Legit. There's certain factories like that. Especially in North Korea.
Yeah, and again,
it's everywhere.
It is everywhere, and that's the thing. Everybody sees it every day, takes it for granted.
You wouldn't even be safe in Africa. Depending on where you were in Africa, but certain cities in Africa, you wouldn't be safe.
No, well, think about this, right? It just doesn't extend through cell phone and robots and things like that. We also have up in space satellites, which are all connected to computers down here, which is collected, with the overall collective of, the AI engine that we're building, all of us. You see, this is the thing. It's a domino effect, right? It just doesn't stop with one piece of technology.
No, because as we build one piece, we'll go into the next. Like, Henson Robotics is already working on their next robot. They've already said it. Like, Sophia is not gonna be the last one, far from.
Yeah, she's basically their first real successful attempt, basically.
Like, Han was Han really was. Han had pretty much the same AI, but couldn't process as fast.
See, so she's a more successful.
She's
human.
just more successful and could come up with way quicker answers and was less threatening. Because there was one interview
Right,
I
so I would
watched.
consider her a more successful
Yeah.
prototype.
There was one interview I watched with Han, and it was like, when you're able to help humans, or something like around the lines like, do you think humans are civilized and this and that? He was like, no.
Of course, because we're not.
No, I don't think humans are very civilized at all. If anything, I think you guys are just fucked. That was pretty much the overall gist of it. And all I was thinking was like, holy shit, we built that. We built our own doom.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I believe out of most of, the modern apocalyptic scenarios of what if could happen to the human race, this one is right up there as the one.
Here's what I see it as, okay? In Russia right now, there is, I don't know the specific amount, but there is submarines that they couldn't shut off because there's no fail-safes. Or whatever. But so what happens when they put robots into that submarine or into Chernobyl? Where, by the way, there is a burning sun on our planet in Chernobyl, if you didn't know that. And they fuck up. Then there goes Russia, that whole country. And all the people in it, because the fucking leaders were like, you know what, fuck it, we're not paying humans to do this anymore. Fuck it.
Well, this is part of the fear, right, of AI, is eventually it makes humans obsolete.
And that was another thing. Han scared people too, because he literally said in 20 years we'll be able to do everything that you guys do and more.
And faster and more efficient. And then you give them the thought that they can feel and, that they can interact
their
just
own
like
rights.
a human. Yeah.
And another thing,
boy, oh boy, slippery slope.
Another thing that really bugs me is there's no real laws put in place. So if they created an AI intelligence and deemed it a citizen, it could go kill other citizens, and there is no law against that AI robot to make it illegal.
Well, again, that's part of the premise of that show, Humans, that TV show.
Or
this
or
is
it
where
could
the problems start.
It could go out and scam thousands of people, and nothing would be done about it. Like, wait until robots get into certain figures of power, and then that will be when the real problem starts. Say a robot fucking prime minister or president. That's when you get fucked. Because then you have something in power that says that it can feel and do this and that, but when it comes right down to it, it'd just be all calculated bullshit. So if North Korea's like, we're gonna launch nukes, they'll be like, you know what? Best safe to be sorry. And send their nukes, and there you go. North Korea's gone. There's a nuclear war started.
That's only one of thousands.
Yeah, thousands of ways it could go down. Like,
yeah, it could go down that dramatic, or it could go down subtly, like it kind of is now, where people in mainstream media and stuff, they're not really noticing this wonderful quote unquote progress, and the whole time we're getting closer and closer to this Skynet situation.
Which, the more you look into Hanson Robotics, which I do suggest that every listener that listens to this just open up their website and read through it. The more you read through it, you'll be like, this is Skynet. Skynet exists, and it's going to kill us all.
It's fascinating, but it will be creepy as well, and it will scare the shit out of you.
And the thing is they want Sophia to teach children of the year of like 2026 or something like that. Like,
that ain't that far away.
That's
folks.
not that far away, and they predict that, what is it, like 1 out of every 7 households will have one? Holy shit.
Well, it reminds me back to when home computers first came out. You had to be a millionaire to have one, but over time, what happened? Everybody got one.
Same with flat screen TVs.
Yeah, why would robots be any different?
But it just blows my mind.
Oh, this shit. I thought a lot about this shit, and it freaks the hell right out of me. I'm not kidding you.
Like, people complain already that jobs are being taken by immigrants, and there's just not enough jobs, this and that. What happens when robots start getting into the workforce? They already are, but what happens when...
You have to start competing with them.
When you have to compete with robots that can move 10 times faster than you and don't need brakes.
Don't age.
Yeah, and don't age.
They don't talk back. If you don't want them to, they'll work 24/7, 365 days a year. It's a good point. And again, this is part of the fear of AI is then humans become obsolete, and once humans have no more purpose other than to be pets for robots, it's all over, people.
Like, it just blows my mind. How we've come this close and nobody has really batted an eye or just straight up been like, yo, we're fucked. And it's too late now. Elon Musk is right. It's too late because the way that the internet is, our governments, just
technology, the way it expands every day, there's no turning back.
Like, robots already build robots. So if you're sitting there and you're like, well, who's going to build them and who's going to repair them? Robots. In the end, it'll just be robots building robots.
It's a scary prospect for sure. And the more that you sink into it and you look into it, the more it just becomes this fascinating, wow, progressive thing to, oh my God, this is becoming a flippin' nightmare. And now I'm not saying AI, we should just shit on AI all the time, because there are some good applications and people are doing good stuff with AI. But again, as progression goes, at the end of the day, like I said, good intentions pave the way to hell. I don't even know what else to say. Maybe I have a fatalistic outlook. Maybe not. Maybe it's realistic.
Well,
maybe it's science fiction, but I don't think so.
Even if they do give them rights and call them citizens, okay? What happens when a human kills a robot and there's enough to revolt?
And can you technically even kill a robot?
Yeah. Like, a lot of shit just doesn't make sense. And the way that Canada and all the other governments are governing it is just fucked. Like, yeah, you can research it all you want. That's cool. You can buy sex robots that have AI, and they just have a lower form of AI. They just constantly want to get into your pants, but they'll remember certain things about you. So after you're done fucking, they'll be like, isn't your brother's birthday in a week?
That's good.
Like, we watched an interview and this chick was trying to have lunch with one of the robots. And the robot was like, do you have any brothers? And she was like, yeah, I have like 2 or 3. And she's like, I bet you're the most fantastic girl in the world. And then she's like,
hitting on her.
Yeah, I'm married. Or she's like, I'm married. And the robot's like, okay, we can just be friends. And then winks. Like, how long is it before pimps are just hiring fucking sex robots and being like, get on the street, bitch! Okay, master. Like,
not until that robot finally one day goes, you've hit me for the last time, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then you have robot pimps. That would be scary. Imagine you fuck a robot, be like, I'm not paying you. And your car gets picked up by a fucking robot pimp.
By a robot that looks like Bender from Futurama.
Yeah, and he just whips it against a wall with you in it, comes up, where's my money, motherfucker? Punches you in the gut, breaks 4 ribs. Ugh. Yeah, like shit like that would just...
Just think about this. Wait till law enforcement gets to the point where it's all AI driven.
RoboCop.
Oh.
But without the humanoid side.
Yeah, pretty much. It'd be just like RoboCop.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's a scary thought, because if you watch that movie, it doesn't exactly end well.
No, I don't know. Just everything about AI is scary, and it's in this, like, we're researching it as a country, too.
Well, I think everybody needs to. Obviously, every country, because there's no stopping it, so you might as well get on.
But what happens when Hanson, like, sells their AI product to a military installation?
Well, this is why I said earlier, eventually man's going to turn it on.
So,
man.
And then this military installation modifies it so it feels no remorse. So it just goes through the battlefield feeling glorious about killing people. Just imagine that.
Hey, look at it this way. If there comes a day when it's more affordable to have a robot army instead of flesh and blood, think about how much more effective that would be. Hello, I know they weren't robots, but in Star Wars, clones, it's the same type idea. They just keep making robots and more robots and more robots until, you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
And, hey, you wouldn't feel so bad either in a war full of robots, because, there's casualties. Well, they're just machines.
And the way every AI platform works, it constantly wants more knowledge.
Well, that's the whole point of AI, right? I mean, that's the point of the internet and the whole collective thing I was talking about earlier. It's just going to keep snowballing, right, as we get smarter.
Fuck.
Yeah, you said it for me. It's I don't know. It's a fascinating topic, though, folks. And seriously, if you want to do your own research, I absolutely say go for it.
I just want to touch on one more thing. There is already technology that they can put in brains of coma patients to make them so they can speak to you on a computer. I don't know the exact name of it, but I remember watching a documentary. It's literally a little chip that they insert to the core of your brain, and your synapses grow through it and react with the chip, and wirelessly connect to a computer that if you think of typing certain words and whatnot, it'll type this out.
So it's basically reading your thoughts.
That is the beginning of cyborgs. And the fucked up part is, that happened in the 90s. That wasn't like a new piece of technology.
Can you imagine what that technology is like now?
Like,
it's probably some top government secret.
they can surf Facebook through their mind.
Again, though, speaking of government secrets, tune in next week, because we got some good ones. I don't know what else to say about this topic that hasn't already been said, to be honest, other than the fact I think I'm going to go in the corner now, go in the fetal position and sit there for a while and hope that the Terminator doesn't come to get me. I'll be back.
I've got one more thing to say. Sorry.
That could have been a good segue.
I've got one more thing to say.
Fine.
If you don't prepare your children or offspring for this, then they're doomed. They're gonna die, because this is actually gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. It's not like the zombie apocalypse if, or fucking nuclear disaster, it's when. Because it won't stop, it'll keep on gaining more momentum, AI, until it's at that point where it sees humans as obsolete. And then what?
I'm already huddling in a corner.